do it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Getting Speakers Booked, a podcast by speakers for speakers. And today, I'm so excited to have my guest Silvana with us today. Silvana, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Of course, I am super excited to be here in your podcast, Macy. I appreciate it, and I think it's gonna be really good.
I think so too. I'm so thrilled because we got connected on LinkedIn a few weeks ago, maybe months ago at this point. But I love
Hmm.
all of your posts, and there's just so many amazing pieces of content that you're putting out there. I'm always like reading them, like, wow, like this is so thought-provoking. So I'm so thrilled to really dive deep into it and learn a little bit more about you and how you're serving people. So why don't you give people just a little bit of background about you and what you do right now?
Absolutely. Thank you for your kind words. Yes, so I am Silvana Pimentel. I am an immigrant. I was born in Peru, live here in the beautiful US for the last 20 plus years. I I am a chief AI officer. AI is one of my passions.
Mm,
And that's the thing I mostly love to talk about because nowadays a lot of people look at AI as a obstacle, as like they fear AI. It's like so many mixed feelings about AI. So my goal is to help small and medium-sized businesses to use AI as a superpower, as an ally, where you can use it to optimize your business, optimize your life, get more time to do the things that you really love, make more money, get more customers, whatever your goal is, you can do it with the power of AI. So that's kind of my thing. I am also a sales leader, uh, and then I'm gonna be a TEDx speaker, actually. Also, that's another thing
yes, I'm
that gets
so
me very
excited.
excited.
Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, I'm so excited, and I'll make sure I'll update the description when it comes out with the link to it. So if it's not there yet, it's
Thank you.
because it's not out yet, but when it is, I'm gonna be sharing it everywhere. Like I'm so excited for you. This is gonna be
Oh, so
amazing.
kind of you.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you, Mace.
course. Well, AI, I feel like is definitely something that a lot more people are embracing, and I feel like I was almost surprised at the level of people embracing what AI was. So can you tell me a little bit about when did you come to start embracing AI and how did you know this was something you wanted to help other people with as well?
Yes, so AI, I've been always an early adopter,
Mm,
and so I've been learning about AI for the last few years, but then I got very much into it and I got a couple of certifications, but it's a constant learning on using the actual tools where I was able to incorporate that into my life. And so, for instance, a couple of years ago, I was overwhelmed, like so many people, I think they feel, because I felt like I looked very good on paper. I had a good job. I had my beautiful family and amazing, like all the things you can put on the checklist. I would say yes, yes, I have that. But inside, I felt like was running empty. I felt like I could do more. I felt like was failing maybe my kids sometimes, my job sometimes, my husband sometimes. So it was not a good feeling. So from there, what I did is I incorporated AI in my life in a way that I am now in a very different place thanks to the optimization of my task, automation, and different things that I did. And that's like, for instance, doing my podcast. I launched a podcast, Happiness by Habit, which I would love to interview you sometime,
oh, thank
Macy.
you.
Absolutely. So as a result of that, like I was able to organize my life and optimize different tasks where I can be not only could make time for the things that really make me happy, but also I can be a more present mom. I
Mm.
I like my health also. I was 20 pounds overweight. So
Oh,
I
wow.
lost all that weight and then different
Congrats.
things. I wrote a
Yeah.
book and
Oh,
launched,
wow.
and then I decided to launch a business, a consultancy on AI to help overwhelmed professionals because I think this is very, very common. I mean, I want to help people that felt like me, overwhelmed, to be able to accomplish their goals and feel the power of using AI with on the different things,
Hmm.
applied AI and the different activities, can be work or life, parenthood, is to study anything. It can be. There are a lot of tools that can be available through AI. So that's
Yeah.
my story, and I am sticking to it.
I love it. No, I think that's so great. I think I heard someone say once that, AI isn't going to take your job, but someone who can utilize AI will. And I
I
think
love that one.
everything
Yes,
that
so
you were
true.
saying makes so much sense because,
Mm.
when you're utilizing a lot of these tools, I mean, it's the same thing as like when businesses went from just being brick and mortars or just being in person to now we have Zoom, we have things like social media that we're selling things that people were never selling on social media before, obviously. When social media started, no one saw that future coming of Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that. So there's just so many changes. And if you're not keeping up to date or you're not sure like how you're able to sustain your business, you will get lost. And that's just how it is. Like Blockbuster, Barnes and Noble,
Mhm.
Books a Million, all of those places, like Amazon and Netflix took over. And that's just, one of those things that came how it is. And same thing with cable. But this is such a great topic, and I'm sure you talk a lot more about it on your socials. So if you're interested to learn a little bit more about what Silvana does when it comes to I have all of her links and everything in the description, show notes. Go click, check her out. There's a lot of great information there. But I want to talk a little bit about your speaking career. So
Mhm.
I'm so excited to learn a little bit more about this because I remember you had said and shared that, speaking wasn't something you were always super was it confident maybe in it, and a lot of it what you said was because you're an immigrant and an accent.
Mm.
So can you talk
Mhm.
a little bit about, how did you know that you're like, I'm gonna shift my mindset. Like my accent is my superpower, as you've said. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, thank you for this question, Macy. I actually in Peru, I had a TV program, a
Oh
radio
wow.
program.
Yeah.
I studied communication science, so my voice used to be my superpower. But then when I came here in the States, it was difficult because it was a different language, which I learned, but it was difficult to be understood. So that was a big problem, a big struggle. So I I I turn my accent into my superpower, and that's the topic of the TEDx talk that I will be having next month. But actually, how did that happen? It was making a big change instead of being embarrassed for my accent, because at some point, literally, I felt ashamed. I was like, oh my gosh,
Mm,
this is not, the people don't understand me. I would feel like very like embarrassed or frustrated, and mixed feelings, like about how people couldn't get what I was saying. So to recover my voice and to I made a change. I started doing different things. One of the things that was a very simple thing, but it needed to be done. It was took some accent reduction classes, if you believe it.
wow.
Those
Yeah.
This is a thing that exists. So I because I realized perhaps I could control the handle of my English speaking ability. So I did work on that a little bit, and try to work on being understood. And then realize also that my accent, it was going to be part of me forever. So regardless of how many accent reduction classes or English classes I took, or as many reading books I read, or anything I did, it was always going to be part of me. So I started honoring it. I was like, yes, and this is good because this is part of who I am. And I started honoring my voice, my accent, because it shows that I went the extra mile and learned a new language. It shows that I started from again in a new country. So it shows my courage. So I made that switch and started honoring my accent. And now that was one of the triggers that helped me get my launch my podcast, for instance, and my speaking career, because it's a superpower that can be from many people that can hear this podcast, because I know, especially in the U.S. or anywhere, like there are a lot of people that are immigrants. So when we honor our accent, then we can do we can have tell our story and we can inspire others to do the same.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's what I like about that.
Yeah, and I'm
And
so glad. Mm-hmm.
yes, and on the AI thing, and this is, and I am focusing now on the speaking about AI because it's such an important thing. I think it can be really critical for the survival of many people and for to help people thrive on what they are doing. And it can be such a good tool to help people who feel overwhelmed to thrive and to succeed in business and in life. So that's why I am very keen about telling my message, giving my message out there, because I think it's important and it can make a difference into many people's lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad that you shared that because that matters so much and it definitely resonated with me when you were talking about some of those struggles. Like coming from me, my entire family, like I come from a family of immigrants. They all have, and on top of that, my family is multiracial, like they're mixed. So they all have different accents. So I grew up with so many different accents my entire life and I didn't even realize this was an issue of people understanding accents until way older. Because I was like, well, I can understand them, and people were like, no, it's hard. I'm like, not really. Like, it was never hard for me. So to me, I never, I didn't even know my dad had an accent, honestly, until I was probably about 14, because someone told me. Because I was so used to his voice, I was so used to my family's voice, my parents' friends. All of it sounded like I guess normal, I guess, to me.
Right.
So like I remember when my friends were like, "Yeah, your dad's accent is really heavy." And I was like, "He doesn't have one." And they were like, "He has an accent." I was like, "No, I don't think so." But I'm sure like you're
Oh,
telling me like going from radio and TV back in Peru to now people weren't understanding you, they weren't connecting with you. That must have been so hard, and it's so amazing to see that, you're like, I don't need those reduction classes anymore. I'll just speak how I am and people are going to take me and they're going to resonate with me. And I think that's so powerful. And that's sounds such a great message to other people as well. Um, what do you love? You kind of talked about AI, and AI is one of your popular topics. Is there anything else you usually love to talk about on the stage?
yeah, I love to talk about leadership and
Mm,
about this topic that we just discussed, the accent and the power of having your voice heard.
yeah.
So I love talking about that as well. Typically focus on the for AI in small with the small and medium sized businesses and entrepreneurs, because that's where I can make the biggest impact and help them with a set of tools that will help them making a big difference. But then also on the having the voice and honoring the accent part is also very near to my heart topic,
Yeah.
and I love to inspire other people to do the same. So that's another topic. Also to speak about leadership, about personal brand, and different topics, and in different languages as well, Spanish or English.
That's amazing. Yeah, you speak a few languages, don't you?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
do.
gosh, that's so incredible. I'm like at one and a half.
Oh
That's as much
yeah.
as I've gotten. I've gotten English and a little bit of some other stuff I learned in school, but
Oh, that's
one day, one day.
awesome.
One day.
Yeah, whenever you want to practice Spanish, Macy, you
Yes.
have me. We
Oh my
can talk a little
gosh.
bit of
Yes.
Espanol.
Yes, no, absolutely. It's so funny. I do have a few close friends who speak Spanish, and I'm like, at any given time, I'm like, you gotta quiz me. Like, we gotta do something. Just tell me a word in Spanish and I'll learn it. Like, we're gonna try.
I know. Actually, that's funny, but because you live in Florida, you get a lot of Spanish-speaking people. You can use AI also to be your
Hmm.
teacher and to coach you on Spanish. I will send you something like a ChatGPT that can help you
Okay,
with that goal. Like
I'll take it.
teach you a few minutes every day, and then just go with that and just making it like I'm all about how to small habits can change your life, and this can be one. Like you
Yeah.
can learn a new language by giving it a little bit of your day every day. The consistency is the key.
Absolutely. No, that's so true. And, there are so many different apps out there. I know a lot of people are coming up with language learning apps and stuff like that. But I think people are always saying, immersion and conversation is the best way to learn language. And you can
That's
really
true.
tailor that AI to do not only just talk about topics, but any topic you want to learn, any topic
Oh yeah.
you find interesting. And you're the expert here, so I'm sure all about it. But that's such a great tip, and I think a lot of people will take that home, and I appreciate that. But I just want to switch gears a little bit because you did talk about implementing tiny habits. I would love to hear, your advice given, going from doing radio and TV and then coming to America and then kind of changing that a little bit. What advice would you have for speakers, either new or re-emerging speakers, on how to get back on the track, how to get on there, put themselves out there and get on stages?
Yeah. I would say that whatever makes you different is what makes you special also.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to show off who you are, because people are gonna honor that and are gonna appreciate. And one thing is that when you start changing your mindset about from being embarrassed or feeling less because you have an accent into honoring and being proud of your accent, it makes a big difference on how people look at you also.
Mm,
So I would say just be proud of who you are, because you were born to stand out,
yeah.
not to blend in.
Absolutely. And I was talking about this on possibly another podcast, but maybe the pro or con of social media and how everyone is so accessible is that now you kind of get that affordability to be unique, to stand out and
Mm.
embrace those unique qualities about yourself because you don't know who's looking for that specific quality in someone, in a mentor, in a coach, in a friend, as someone to look up to. You just never know at this point. Because, if they're not willing to embrace that side of you, maybe like your accent or your heritage or anything like that, they can literally go find someone else at the drop of the hat. So they're looking for you. And I think that's a great parting piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very important. And anyway, you can inspire others also do the same, because that's very contagious, I would
Yes,
say. And yeah, and,
absolutely.
and people are gonna, and you'll be surprised, but more people are gonna be happier to get to know you as you embrace and honor your who you are, and
Yes.
stop the feeling less or feeling ashamed or feeling self-conscious about who you are, because you have a very important, everybody has a beautiful story. I mean, really, like, you just need to share it and tell it, and there is somebody, as you say, that will love to hear that story,
Yeah.
or might need to hear that piece of advice. So
Hmm.
just go ahead and say it, share it with the world.
That's so true. And I think that's a great place to end off the podcast. So, Silvana, thank you so much for coming on, spending a few minutes. You just gave so many great nuggets. I don't even think I can count on like one hand. So thank you so much for coming on and spending the time with me. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure, Macy. Thank you for this opportunity, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, we really appreciate you as well, and we'll see you soon. By the way, if you're a speaker and you're looking to be a part of a community that want to help you get on stages, in the description is a link to our free Facebook community where we do just that, and we have speed networking every week. So thanks. Talk soon. Bye.